Owen Coyle's Ross County hadn't won a game since the start of November last year. Their poor form has seen them rooted to the foot of the Premiership table. But in their last match, they put 4 past close relegation rival Dundee. It's a closely fought battle at the bottom of the Premiership, but the Staggies remain hopeful of leaping to safety. Craig Levine's rejuvenated Hearts have proven to be stubborn opposition defensively and have only conceded 4 goals in their last 12 league games. Impressive displays include a win over Celtic. They put paid to their invincible tag, and victory today could see them move within 4 points of their Edinburgh rivals Hibs. The Hearts come here today without injured Stephen Naismith and Harry Cochrane, but are a strong side intent on continuing a 5-game unbeaten run in the Highlands. Owen Coyle began his home managerial debut with a defeat to Hearts. They've only beaten the visitors twice in 16 attempts in the Scottish Premiership, and how they are desperate to make it 3 points today. Kick-off is at 12:30 from the Global Energy Stadium as Ross County host Hearts. An incentive for the visitors to consolidate 5th place and keep up the pace on their Edinburgh neighbours Hibs. Just 6 points separate the bottom 5 teams with Ross County at the foot of the table. Very warm welcome to a sunny Dingwall. Looking forward to an afternoon of exciting football as the race for the top 6 and for safety intensifies, and it all starts here. I'm very pleased to say joining me is our regular expert Chris Commons in the studio, and alongside him a man who knows this place well. He spent 3 years here at the helm and secured Ross County's first major silverware, beating Celtic in the semi-final and Hibs in the League Cup final. It is welcome Jim McIntyre alongside, because you obviously enjoyed real happy times here, lots to celebrate. Pretty tough in your first season though, wasn't it? You found yourself February 6 points adrift at the foot of the table. What kind of characteristics did your team have then to really go on that winning run and save from relegation?
We had a really good team spirit and that carried us a long way. It was important to go and get that result though against Motherwell. I think it was on Valentine's Day. And from there we won 10 out of our last 15 games. And momentum's a great thing in football, you know, and it's something that this team is going to have to show as well. They've had a great result against Dundee last time out, and it's important that they build on that today.
How important is it though, up against this side, to build on it at home when they're against a team with such a formidable defence? How tough is that going to be?
It is, and you know, we spoke before about Hearts' defence, and the fact that the foundations there of obviously McLaughlin, Barrett and Souter have been very, very impressive. The amount of goals they've not let in the back of the net has been phenomenal. I think they've only conceded 7 in the last 17 games, so it shows you how well they have been organised by Craig Levine. But going forward, they've scored 1 less goal than Ross County. So it just shows you that the fundamentals, if you can be defensively very good, it gives you all the ammunition going forward to get, you know, cement your place in the top 6. But Ross County this season have conceded nearly double of Hearts, so you know there's a big emphasis on Ross County to try and keep a clean sheet, but ultimately need to score some more goals.
Yeah, and try and build on that momentum from their last game, the win of course against Dundee, and maybe comes as no surprise that it's an unchanged side for Owen Coyle. Tim Chow still suspended, Greg Tansey, Andrew Davis and Jamie Lindsay all still out, but yes, unchanged there. As for Hearts, well, 2 changes following their 5th round cup win against St Johnstone. David Milinkovic comes into the left when Don Cowie, the other change, on the right. He's back after picking up a knock. Aaron Hughes and Anthony McDonald drop to the bench. As we mentioned, there's still no Naismith, but John and Harry Souter, of course, play each other for the first time in their professional careers, so almost a tough one for the parents to watch this afternoon. Right, let's hear from Craig Levine. Here's with Luke Shanley.
Craig, what sort of match do you expect today?
A typical away match for us in the SPFL. Ross County had a fantastic result last week away from home. So I'm sure that Owen will be thinking that's the corner turned, and hopefully we can play well enough to make them think that they've not turned a corner yet.
Is that something that makes them a different prospect then?
Well, I'm sure they'll get hope from last week's result, of course they will. They haven't got a great record here. We usually do pretty well. So I'm hopeful, but we have to apply ourselves properly to get an in from this match.
You're on a very good run just now. What have you changed and instilled in this team that have made them go on such a run?
I think we're calmer and probably a little bit more confident, and that takes time. And it takes evidence, which is obviously playing well and winning matches, and sometimes not playing well and winning matches. So we've improved. I think we've still got a fair bit to go, but we're certainly better than we were a couple of months ago.
Good luck today.
Okay, thank you.
And certainly better as well for some of these partnerships that are forming within the squad, particularly in defence. When you look at the stats of both Christophe Berra and John Souttar, just 6 defeats from 26 games when they've played, and a very impressive 14 clean sheets. There's been a dearth of options at centre-back, I think, for the Scottish national team, but also for Hearts too. And when you have these two playing so well together, how would you sum up this relationship of youth and experience?
Well, I think what they have got is an understanding. I think they're both very, very good defenders. I think John Souttar is more natural and more comfortable on the ball, bringing the ball out and being more of a modern-day centre-half and coming out with the ball. Christophe Berra is a very, very experienced defender, international games and also down in England where he's played, for Ipswich and Wolverhampton. So there's a real good mix, a good contrast of raw defending and also the modern-day sort of football. And I think looking at these two, especially Alex McLeish now being the Scotland manager, he could be actually looking at this as an international partnership because they are performing at a very, very high standard.
How tough will this be for Ross County when you look at players like this and perhaps even the best central defensive partnership in the league right now?
It will be really tough, but I think when you look at the last game out with Ngog getting a bit more game time under his belt, he's got real quality. And Alex Schalk certainly knows where the net is, and it seems to have brought him on. He scored 4 goals in his last 2 games, so they'll be going into the game confident that they can go and get something, but they're going to have to be at their best today because Hearts under Craig Levein have been so resolute, and I think, as Chris says, I think they've conceded 7 goals, but 3 of them were against Celtic, in the last
17 games.
Yeah, 17 games. So that's phenomenal, and when you put that into context, it's going to be a tough afternoon to break through that.
Right, well, if you break through the defence, you've got to get past their keeper, of course, John McLaughlin, with some of the best stats in the Premiership. Looking at his highest save percentage here, 11 clean sheets, conceded just 17 in all competitions, but look at that percentage, way above Joe Lewis and the likes of Craig Gordon as well. He's had lucrative offers from England. Be pretty tough for them to keep hold of him, but how key would he be to this side?
Well, the stats don't lie, do they, Ailey? I mean, that's an outstanding stat that even when people are getting shots on target, he's making the saves, and I've been very, very impressed with him. I've seen him at Easter Road against Hibs, and he made some exceptional saves that night as well. So is a guy that's had a few injury problems. He came from Burton, and I just think now he's found his feet, his form, and I think a relationship as a goalkeeper with your 2 centre-halves is key as well. So even when Berra and Souttar are getting done, he's actually pulling off some really, really top-class saves, and they're not just saves from distance, the close reactive saves. He gets down well to his left and his right. This is the Easter Road incident I was talking about. They're match-winning saves, and I think looking through the highlights there, this close range where he's having to use reactions, but he also can read the game very well, and that, as a modern-day goalkeeper, you have to be part of the back four, and he certainly is that.
Yeah, it's a real authority as well, as you just mentioned, the way that he carries himself and the way that he is around his box.
Yeah, he's also a great age for a goalkeeper. 30 years of age is where you're at your prime. You've got a lot of experience, you've got over 300 games under his belt. You can clearly see he's enjoying that relationship with that back 3 or 4 when Hearts have been changing it up, and you can see there's a real confidence in each other, which, as Chris has said there, when he doesn't, when they get by the 2 defenders, he's confident he's going to make that save.
Okay, how confident are these Ross County fans that are building from that great win against the Dundee? We'll be focusing on the Staggies next, but let's hear from some of their fans who, imagine, are in confident mood.
Owen Coyle knows what he's doing. He's an experienced manager, and then after the good win against Dundee away from home, feeling really confident.
Momentum's a big thing. Get a couple of wins behind them, and I really think with the team that they've got, I think they really could push up the table.
I think that we'll survive all right, because County's been here before, but unfortunately we've had a bad season of just missed opportunities.
We've been here a few times over the years, and we can't above our weight. and so he's orange of the Highlanders, so we won't give up.
Today's a big game on the basis that none of the other teams will expect us to win today, so 3 points today will make a huge difference in terms of everybody beating everybody else at the bottom end of the table.
Has been a massive influence on this club since 1994, and to tell us more about it, here's Luke Shanley.
Hayley, you join me in the Highland Football Academy that adjoins the stadium. We're here at the Wall of Fame, some of the great players to come out of the Highlands, the Grant sisters who played for the Scotland ladies team, Don Cowie who will be involved for Hearts today. Interesting to see how he gets on in his return. Brian Gunn, a former Scotland international, John McGinley, an ex-Bolton teammate of Andy Walker, and he certainly made him look good, that's for sure. Duncan Shearer, another former Scotland international, Donald Park, who was assistant manager here and played for Heart of Midlothian. And the person that put the bricks and mortar in place, Roy McGregor, he wants to build a legacy here in the Highlands, and Roy joins us now. He's keeping a watch on some of the youngsters taking place. Roy, tell us about this facility and how key it is to this region.
Well, it's key to this region because the weather's not so good. To have an indoor facility linked to all the outdoor facilities next door, really, really key. It's a facility that we copied off a model that we saw down in England at Ipswich, and there was no model at all in the Highlands at that time, so this was the first one. It's been here over 12 years. It's used by both clubs in the Highlands and really important for the development of youngsters at both clubs.
This was the first, as you said. How key is it now for the development of elite football with the Project Brave coming in Scotland?
Yeah, I mean, this is a cornerstone. You know, Project Brave is the new programme that's been developed by the SFA. We're right behind it. And it is the development of youngsters from 9-year-olds. Key to that is having the facilities, and we've got them here. They were built, you know, as I say, over 12 years ago, and it's really key in the development both of the elite football and also a participation football, because that's as important to the club as the elite. You know, we do over 59,000 coaching sessions from Shetland, Orkney, Western Isles down to Oban, over to Murray. So it's really key for an area that is as remote as we have here, but has got 350,000 people, so getting participation in such a region, in such a diverse region, is really key with this facility.
Roy, it certainly is a great legacy. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Of course, that's something you know all about, being here for the years that you were. How important is it to kind of nurture and try and keep these players in the Highlands?
It is, it's very important. Stephen Ferguson, I've got to say, the head of youth, does a fantastic job here, and you know, he is all up and down the country, you know, and as far as 200 miles up the road, you know, bringing kids down into this environment, you know, and Roy has been a major backer of that, you know, and is the real driving force behind it. He's quite an unbelievable guy in terms of his work ethic to, you know, make sure there is a platform here for footballers in the Highlands, you know, and obviously to try and keep them, but it is hard to keep them here, there's no doubt about that.
Okay. Future's hopefully looking pretty promising as far as youth is concerned. Let's have a look back at the last time that Hearts were here. It was unfortunately a defeat for the home side, but a really important Hearts win. Both goal scorers, however, Goncalves and Walker, aren't at the club anymore, but how different do you think it's going to be coming up against this side today, Chris?
I think although Goncalves and Walker have left Hearts, I still think you're looking at a stronger Hearts team and certainly better defensive team. I think the one thing that Ross County can probably take a little bit of hope from is that man there, Caledon. He's hitting a real Richard Bain form at the minute, a very, very talented player, and obviously knows where the back of the net is. So for Ross County, I think it's positives that they can try and get a result, but they are coming up against a team, I think, that are in a lot better shape than what they were in October.
Are Ross County in any better shape than they were in October, though, Jim?
Well, obviously results don't suggest that, but, you know, football's a wonderful thing when you can go and get that win under your belt like they done last time out, and if they can go and build on that today, then, you know, who knows where it leads. We seen that 3 years ago when we managed to do it ourselves, so, you know, that'll be the aim for them today, is to try and get a bit of momentum, try and get a win at home, which is going to be vital if they're going to, you know, going to stay up and get away from the bottom of the table. The head-to-heads are crucial when it comes to this stage in the season. So, you know, they'll obviously be in the early kick-off as well. They'll want to try and, you know, get the 3 points and put pressure on the other sides. Yeah, well, from Derbyshire to Dingwall, you singled out Kayla Davis-Dunn, didn't you, and the confidence that he has as well.
yeah, just how important is he, I guess?
You know what, Hayley? I think going forward, he's been a revelation. I think he's one of those sort of players, a young 20-year-old boy he's exciting, he's got great feet, he's got good vision, and one thing that he does do, he don't hang about with putting the ball in a good area, and he's always got his head up, he's always looking for that killer pass, and he's intelligent as well. He shows some great bit of awareness there. I mean, it's a sort of number 10 that you want in your team, especially when you are doing well, and I think it gives it such a bit of confidence for the centre forwards playing with him that he can then pick them out, and he's got bags and bags of quality on that right foot. I mean, that's a sensational finish, but when you're in that sort of form, scoring goals, you are seeing passes very early, and you've got your head up, and you're looking for killer passes. It makes the likes of Ngog will be thriving on that sort of passes through, getting his head up, looking. Ngog will make that run, and Caledon, he will find him. And I think at this stage of the season, you know how important it is when you've got a number 10 or a number 9 that's hitting that sort of form. It takes so much pressure off the back four.
Absolutely. OK, well, let's hear from the Ross County man in charge. Owen Coyle is with Luke Shanley.
Owen, I take it was an easy team to pick today. How much is the confidence there and come back since that win last week?
Yeah, I think we knew that we'd actually been playing not too bad in the build up to it with some tough games, but it was important we get back to winning ways, and you like to do that as early as you can. It'd have been great to have a game last week, obviously, to carry that on, but coming back home now against Hearts, a good side, it's a great chance to build momentum, and that's what we need to do at this stage of the season. When you get to the business end, it's important you're picking up points, picking up wins, and looking to move forward.
How tough a challenge will it be today?
Well, I think everybody knows about how good the run is and the quality they've got, but that's what this league brings. You bring each and every game is a tough game against good competitors, good opponents, and Hearts have that, so we're very aware of the threat they have, and we'll give them utmost respect for that. But equally, I think they know that we've got some good players here, got a good team. It's a fantastic club, and we have to make sure that we go and capitalise on being at home and try to win an important game.
They're very mean in defence. Do you have to come up with a formula to get through that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think they have very good players. I mean, I said at the outset of the season, I thought Christoph Berra was an inspired signing. I'd played against, well, he certainly competed against many of my teams down south, and he's always been a standout performer. Suter's getting better all the time, so and certainly can't be far away from international honours as well. So they certainly have a very strong backline, a real good spine through their team. That being said, we've got players that can cause problems. David Ngog, Schalk, young Caledon. So we've got players that can cause problems. What we need to do is make sure they're the very best today, and if they are, then of course it's a game that we can win.
Good luck.
Thanks as always. Look, cheers.
How tough is it going to be, though, for his side to try and, I guess, put themselves together against a side like this?
It is, and he said there that it's going to be a very, very difficult task to try and break this Hearts defence. We spoke before of how good it has been recently, but I think when he singles out the Schalk, Ngog, and also Caledon, three very intelligent, good players, and at this level you think Ngog could get a couple of goals to try and ease the safety worries at Ross County. They're
all players, of course, involved in that last very impressive win and a very important 3 points on the road. They're still to win at home this season, though, but it's the Hearts who made the 170-mile trip north of the Highlands. Can we see the Jambos consolidate themselves in fifth? Can we see Ross County try and get themselves out of trouble?
Ladbrokes, backing Scottish football on Sky Sports.
Shane Warne talks hair loss.
Mark, why do you think so many cricketers want a full head of hair?
Well, like most men, cricketers want to perform at their best and look at their best.
So you too believe that hair loss can affect performance?
Definitely, and lifestyle.
Well, with Advanced Hair's scientific hair loss treatments, the success rate is out of the park.